Sahana vavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihata Nisha Charachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhavatu Me Bho Rama Mamuddhara. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In Vedanta, the topic of bhakti will not be explicitly mentioned. The books which are composed, Prakarana Granthas which are written, they don't emphasize much on devotional practices. When we read Upanishads, there we will find these hints of devotion. Just like anything else in Sanatan Dharma, they will not insist on anything. In Sanatan Dharma, they don't insist that you should go to temple. They don't insist that you should pray. They will just tell this is how you have to do it. Whether we do it or not is completely up to the student. In the same way, Upasana, they'll just mention and move on. But a good student is the one who will hold on to it and try to practice it. So we saw one kind of combination which was mentioned. That combination was between avidya and vidya. Avidya means karma and vidya means upasana. Along with doing our duties in life, remembering Bhagwan in and through those duties. That is the simple meaning of the three mantras, 9th through 12th. 9th through 11th. 12th through 14 is another idea. The best example of karma and upasana samuchaya is our Bharatji. What we have been seeing in Bharat Charitra. On one hand, there is devotion to Bhagwan. On other hand, there is diligence while doing duties. Both of these things, this Upanishad mantra says, have to go together. What we had seen as head and heart should go together. Head represents karma, heart represents upasana or bhakti. Now the second combination is between upasana and upasana. One upasana is Asambhuti Upasana, meditation upon the unmanifest, Prakriti or Maya. And second is Sambhuti Upasana, meditation upon the manifest. In manifest, there is Hiranyagarbha first, the subtle creation, then there is Virata, this gross manifest world that we see. So this devotee takes special time to quieten the mind all the way to the cause. That is Asambhuti Upasana, meditating in such a way that mind becomes free from samsara, free from object, free from thoughts. In that quiet state, he tries to become one with his Ishtadevata, whose essential nature is avyakta, unmanifest. Right? That's why we saw Vedanta Sara. those verses which says Ishvara's essential nature is unmanifest. That is one upasana. The second one is whatever is manifest, in that manifest creation, he puts forth effort to see that Chaitanya. Now, while doing this, we should run into one difficulty. How big is this creation? It is infinite. So, if somebody says, look upon this creation as Bhagavan, say, what should I think about? If you just look at earth element, earth is so vast, difficult to even fathom what should I bring in my mind and then do upasana of. If somebody says, do upasana of a vigraha, look upon the Gangaji flowing from the matted locks, the snake around Bhagwan Shiva's neck, camphor-like body. We can imagine. Means we can bring that form and do upasana. But if somebody says, do upasana of whole creation as Bhagwan, question should come, where should I start? So there it is said, whatever we can think of, there we should bring Bhagavad Buddhi. Whatever we can think of in this world, either it be a person, it be an object, it be a place. Desha, Kala, Vastu, Vyakti. Desha means place, Kala means time, Vastu means object, and Vyakti means a person. Instead of seeing them only as Upadhi, bringing this idea that it is Upahita Chaitanya. And that Upahita Chaitanya is my Bhagwan expressing in that particular Upadhi. Upahita Chaitanya again is a dry word. Nothing comes to heart when you say Upahita Chaitanya. You say that Bhagwan who is expressing in this particular conditioning, that is whom I worship. This upasana has a specific phalashruti. That is what we had seen in the Bhashya. Let us just read that Bhashya again. Page number 35, Gita Press book. Before 13th mantra. Adhuna ubhayoho upasanayoho samuchaya karanam avayava phalabhedam aha anyat eva iti anyat eva pruthageva ahuhu phalam sambhavat sambhutehe karya brahma upasanat animadi aishwarya lakshanam व्याख्यातवन्तः इत्यर्थः तथा च अन्यद् आहुः असम्भवात् असम्भूतेः अव्याकृतात् अव्याकृतोपासनात् यद् उक्तम् अन्धं तमः प्रविशन्ति इति प्रकृतिलयः इति च पौराणिकैः उच्यते इति एवं शुश्रुमधीराणां वचनं ये नस्तद्विचचक्षिरे व्याकृत अव्याकृत उपासनफलं व्याख्यातवन्तः इत्यर्थः. Now the result of both upasanas are mentioned separately. So this is commentary on 13th mantra. Anyadevahu sambhavat, anyad ahuhu asambhavat. There is a different result gained through Sambhuti Upasana. What is Sambhuti Upasana? Upasana on manifest creation. And anyadahuhu asambhavat. Different result gained from Upasana on unmanifest. If you want an example for this unmanifest and manifest, this is one example. There are alphabets, right, in any language. And using those alphabets only, we make words. Using those words, we make sentences. Using sentences, literature is written. The literature which is there, that is like Sambhuti. Sambhuti means it is manifested. And the alphabets which are there, it is the unmanifest. Karana is alphabets. From those alphabets only, the literature has emerged. So what this mantra is saying is, if somebody studies only alphabets, doesn't study the literature, that is not what we want. If somebody studies only literature, does not study alphabets, that is also not what we want. We have to study alphabets and we have to study literature. So studying literature is like worshipping Bhagwan as his creation. And studying alphabets is worshipping Bhagwan in his Karanavastha. If you only worship in Karanavastha and say, I don't want to think about creation, means our vyavahara, transactional life, will not be very sweet. Constantly will run into conflict. If somebody does only transactional life, doesn't pay attention to Bhagwan's nature as Karana, then mind will not quieten down. Another Mahatma Ji, he gave a very beautiful example for this analogy, Karana and Karya. He was explaining to one of his students, he said, you have a guru, right? He said, yes, I have a guru. And you are part of Guru's samstha, the organization of the guru. He said, yes. Everything that is there in the organization is an expression of your guru. True or not? He said, Guru's grace only has brought every small thing in that samstha. He said, so when you worship, you have to worship Karana also, and you have to worship Karya also. So worshipping Guru is like worshipping Asambhuti, the Karana. And worshipping the expression of his Guru's work, that is like worshipping Karya. He said, I will only worship Guru, but not the samstha. He said, that is not what we want. I'll only worship samstha, not the Guru. That is also not what we want. Both have to go together. Anyad evahuhu, prutak evahu phalam. The result of both these upasanas are different. Sambhavat sambhutehe karya brahma upasanat animadi aishwarya lakshanam vyakhyatavantah ityartah. If somebody does upasana of karya brahma means manifest Brahma, whatever thing he can think about in creation, there he brings Bhagavad Buddhi. What is the result of such a upasana? He says that person gets animadi aishwarya. These are 8 different siddhis which can come to a person. First one is anima, becoming small. In Hanuman Chalisa commentary, Puja Guruji has given the symbolic meaning of siddhis also. One siddhi can happen at physical body level. Another siddhi can happen at ahankara level. Physical body level, we might or we might not get it. Even if we get it, there is no big accomplishment. No purpose served by becoming small or big. But this ahankara level siddhi, that is much more meaningful. So anima, one meaning is becoming small in physical size, but the symbolic meaning is becoming small in ahankara. The humility which comes to a person is a result of this upasana. In their opinions, in whatever they think about themselves, in that if we can be small, that is this anima siddhi. Second siddhi is mahima. Mahima means to become big. So in Sundarkand we see all these siddhis Hanumanji demonstrates. Masaka samana becomes small as a mosquito, then suddenly becomes big in front of Surasa. The symbolic meaning of becoming big is becoming decisive. Becoming decisive or becoming responsible. Whenever greater responsibilities come, he is willing to take on bigger responsibilities. That is this Mahima Siddhi. Third Siddhi is Garima. Garima means to become heavy. Garima means to become heavy. Physical body can become heavier. What Bhagavan demonstrated when Trunavarta came. In Srimad Bhagavatam we see Yashoda Maya could not hold Bhagavan, become heavier and heavier. That is called as Garima Siddhi. And symbolic meaning of Garima is decisiveness. Mahima was responsibility. Garima is being decisive. Whatever he decides, he is willing to follow up through it. Decisions in life, decisions in any situation, once he takes it, he holds on to it. Fourth Siddhi is Laghima. Laghima means even if he is big, he can still be light. Like Hanumanji when he is jumping from temple to temple. Temple to temple means house to house in Lanka. Goswamiji writes Mandirate Mandira. But the meaning there is from one palace to another palace, he is jumping with his tail on fire. That is called as Laghima Siddhi. But as far as Ahankara is concerned, Laghima Siddhi is to be light-hearted. Whatever things we are going through, if we can just smile over those things, good, bad, both, that is called as Laghima Siddhi. Fifth Siddhi is called as Prapti. Prapti means whatever this person desires, that he attains. Whatever he desires, that he attains. In practical terms, at Ahankara level, this Siddhi is, he is able to mobilize resources. Whatever is needed to get the work done, he is able to rally everything together and move towards that work. Now remember, all these are Siddhis coming from Bhakti. At physical body level also, but at mind level or Ahankara level also. This is called as Prapti. Sixth one is called as Prakamya. Prakamya Siddhi. Prakamya literally means to disappear from one place and to appear wherever you want. This is called, what do they call it? Teleportation. He can disappear from anywhere, appear wherever he wants. The symbolic side of this Siddhi is, whenever there is a difficult situation, he can bring himself out of that situation. How he did it? That is Bhagavan's grace, that is his Siddhi. Siddhi is something you cannot explain logically. If you can logically explain how he did it, it is not Siddhi. So this is this sixth one called as Prakamya. Prakamya means that person excels in whatever he does. No difficult situation he gets caught up for too long. Seventh and eighth can go together. Seventh is Ishitvam, eighth is Vashitvam. Ishitvam means to rule and Vashitvam means to control. to bring people under one's control, that is called as Vashitvam, and to rule over them, that is called as Ishitvam. But the beauty in the symbolic side of the Siddhi is he is able to do both of it with love. Ishitvam and Vashitvam. He is able to rule and he is able to control with love. All of these Siddhis are attained through bhakti. Through this Upasana, that Bhagwan pervades this whole creation. Vyakhyatavantah ityartah. Tatha cha anyad ahuhu asambhavat. Just like Sambhuti Upasana, Karya Upasana had specific result. Upasana on manifest had specific result. Upasana on unmanifest also has specific result. Anyad ahuhu asambhavat asambhutehe avyakrutat avyakruta upasanat yad uktam andham tamah pravishanti iti prakrutilayah iti cha pauranikaih uchyate. The result of Asambhuti Upasana, Upasana on unmanifest, is that Jiva, after dropping this physical body, doesn't get another physical body until the end of kalpa. Prakriti Laya means until this whole cycle of creation will get dissolved, until that time he will experience the bliss like we experience in deep sleep. Where is this said? This is said in Purana. There is one Purana called as Vayu Purana. There this point is mentioned. What are the different types of mokshas people get? So in Prakritilaya Moksha it is said, this jiva is not pushed into another physical birth, physical form, until the end of kalpa. This is what happens at the end of kalpa. In Bhagavatam, do you remember there is one incident of Naradji, where he says, I did lot of dhyanam, I did lot of tapasya, I was an ordinary person before. But because of my tapasya, in the next kalpa, I was born as Devarshi Narad. When Naradji introduces himself to Bhakti Mata, this is how he introduces. Means after Prakriti Laya, whatever form this jiva has to get, that jiva will get. If it has done so much of upasana, it will be greater forms only, either to a different loka, wherever it has to go. But at least in this kalpa, there is no more sorrow for this jiva. Okay. But if you don't connect with a result hereafter, means we are not doing this upasana to stay in Prakriti Laya after dropping this body. What we have to appreciate is, whoever does this upasana gets a very calm mind. Whenever we are inspired, right, to sit down for meditation, we can derive a lot of benefits from Patanjali Yoga Sutra. We don't have to study all of them, but there are some specific sutras which will help a lot to bring some kind of force into our meditation practice. So there is one sutra which says, how do you make meditation more regular? How do you make meditation more regular? It says there are 5 factors which are needed. One is Shraddha. You can just note down the names, we'll see the meanings later. One is Shraddha. Second is Virya. Second is Virya. Shraddha is first one, second is Virya. Third one is Smruti. Third one is Smruti. Fourth one is Samadhi. Fourth one is Samadhi. And fifth one is Prajna. Fifth one is Prajna. So the sutra goes, Shraddha, Virya, Smruti, Samadhi, Prajna, Purvakaha, Itaresham. Means the one who is doing this Asambhuti Upasana. What we are seeing here as Asambhuti, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, this is called as Asamprajnata Samadhi. asamprajnata samadhi. How should we move closer towards this samadhi, where we can sit in one place and just empty our mind from this world, or empty the world from our mind and just meditate upon Karana Avastha. So he says the first thing we need is faith that such kind of upasana is possible, such kind of upasana is meaningful, and it will do good to me. This kind of faith we need right in the beginning to start practicing this kind of meditation. If the Shraddha is not there, then our effort is not wholehearted. And the irony is, whenever we teach Vedantic meditation, this person might feel, can we do devotional meditation? Whenever he goes to do devotional meditation, he wants to do Vedantic meditation. Upasana and Vedantic meditation, they are complementary. We don't have to do both together. And I hope you are noting the difference also. In Vedantic meditation, what do we say? There is no Karana Avastha, there is no Upadhi. There is only Chaitanya. Shift attention to that Chaitanya and look upon every Upadhi as Mithya. When there is nothing other than Advaita Brahma, everything else is an appearance. In Upasana, what are we doing? We are keeping Upadhi. Over here it is Karana Upadhi. In Sambhuti Upasana it is Karya Upadhi, manifest world. You say, let world be there, it is harmless. Just bring Bhagavad Buddhi in this world. And what is Vedantic meditation? There is only Brahma. Other than Brahma, the Upadhis are Mithya. So when we do that, we should not get the thought of doing Vedanta, this devotional meditation. And when we're doing devotional meditation, we should not feel like doing Vedantic meditation. Not feel like doing means we should not get impatient about the other one. So first quality needed is Shraddha, the faith that this particular result has this particular meditation has a specific result. That calm mind I am seeking, that's why I want to do this. Second one is Virya. Virya means enthusiasm to sit down and meditate. Throughout our day, there are so many things we are enthusiastic about, right? Or at this point of time, in the evening, I'm going to eat something or whatever enthusiasm is there. Like that, one enthusiasm should come early morning every day. I want to spend some time meditating. That is the viryam which this sadhaka demands. Third one is a very beautiful one. It will help a lot in sadhana. Smruti. You know what is the meaning of Smruti? We have started our spiritual journey at some point. And at different moments, we feel we have progressed further. It might happen that we sat down for meditation and we had a very good meditation. Mind really became quiet. He says, remember all of those moments of progress. Smruti means, one meaning of Smruti is, in Purva Janma, whatever has happened, that you remember. This is for advanced yogi. But another way of understanding is, in this Janma itself, whatever little good we have done. He says, remember all of that. Don't lose hope that we cannot meditate. Shraddha means faith. Virya means the enthusiasm. And Smruti means this remembrance that I myself can do this. I've done it before and I can do it even now. And this Smruti increases more we start practicing this meditation. Right? We have more instances where we have sat down and mind has really become quiet. That recollection he gets, and very effortlessly he can go into that state. This is all mind psychology. If we have constantly been unsuccessful at something, our recollection will be only of that unsuccessful attempt. Either it be for meditation or anything else. We have tried it 15 times and every time, let us say, we failed. Then 16th time when we sit, what will we remember? We say, now also I'm going to fail in this. But this Smriti says, whatever little progress we have made, remember all of that. On the strength of that, build your practice further. That is Smriti. Then the fourth one is Samadhi. Samadhi means pull mind back from all other things. Samyak adhanam, to place mind very well in the goal, that is Samadhi. To place mind very well in the goal, that is Samadhi, focused mind. And the last one is Prajna. Prajna means, there are two meanings here. One meaning of Prajna is, when he is pulling back the mind, he is not pulling it with force. He has gotten this conviction that there is no point in going after this sense object or whatever that thing is pulling his mind outside. It can also happen that we are trying to pull the mind back, but inside we still like that object. Inside we still have Shobhana Buddhi. We still value that object and we are trying to pull mind back from it. But one who has Prajna, he is not pulling mind back out of force. He is pulling mind back out of maturity. So in Bhajagovindam, whatever Bhagwan Shankaracharya has said, all of that he has internalized. On the strength of that, he can pull back. Okay, Prajna Purvaka Itaresham. Shraddha Virya Smriti Samadhi Prajna Purvaka Itaresham. All of these things will help in Asambhuti Upasana whenever we sit down for meditation. Iti evam shushruma dhiranam vachanam ye naha vichachakshire. Naha tad vichachakshire. This particular advice we have heard from our teachers. Dhiranam means our teachers who gave us this advice. They have told us about benefits of Sambhuti, benefits of Asambhuti, and the importance of combining both of it. Not only doing one or the other, but both have to be done together. Vyakruta Avyakruta Upasana Phalam Vyakhyatavantaha. They have explained the specific results of Sambhuti and Asambhuti Upasana. Now here, there was one more topic. If we can discuss, then this mantra will open up even more. These are all from Bhakti Darshanas. We said if we have to do this kind of meditation, Sambhuti, Asambhuti, first thing what we need is love for God. Without love for Bhagwan, to think about Bhagwan as creation is almost impossible. What is the seventh form of devotion in Navadha Bhakti? Chhatadama Sila Birati Bahukarma Nirata Nirantara Sajjana Dharma. Satava Sama Mohimaya Jagadekha Mote Santa Adhika Kari Lekha. Out of 9 steps in devotion, the 7th step of devotion that Bhagwan Rama tells Shabariji in Navadha Bhakti is, my devotee is the one who sees me as this whole universe. This entire creation he sees as my own vibhuti. But for this, first thing what we need is connection with Bhagwan. Where do we start? What are the steps? So Ramanujacharya ji has given a beautiful verse on sharanagati. He says these are the 6 steps that a devotee pays close attention to, by which he comes closer to surrendering to God. The first step is Anukulasya Sankalpaha. Anukulasya Sankalpaha. Anukula means whatever is favorable. Of that which is favorable, he does sankalpa. Okay, what is sankalpa? Sankalpa means resolve. Favorable to whom? Whatever is favorable to Bhagavan, whatever is dear to the Lord, he makes sure that he is bringing those things in himself. So if Bhagavan says, Nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukakshami, 12th chapter, he says, that person who is not having too much of attachment, doesn't claim everything as mine, mine, mine. Nirmamaha nirahankaraha, doesn't have too much of pride. That person is dear to me. In joy and sorrow, he is equanimous. And he can forgive people very easily. Kshami, doesn't hold on to things for too long. Ramanujacharya says, first step in sharanagati is, whatever Bhagavan likes, this devotee puts forth effort to bring those qualities in himself. Even if it seems illogical to him, why should I forgive? He says, I will forgive because anukulasya sankalpaha I want. I want to do that which will please Bhagavan. Now it is one thing to do what pleases Bhagavan, but let us say we don't let go of things which displease Bhagavan. You see, that is also not good. So second step is pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever is against Bhagavan's will, whatever is not pleasing to the Lord, those things he is ready to let go of. Now you can actually fit all these points in Vibhishanji's Sharanagati. We know when Hanumanji sees Vibhishanji, he is coming out from his home and chanting Ram Ram. That is Anukulyasya Sankalpaha. Means even in Lanka, he has made his lifestyle such that it is very, very pious. Whatever Bhagavan likes, based on that he is living his life. But Hanumanji says, it is good that you are following first step of Sharanagati. Your problem is you have not gone to the second step. You are having reverence to Bhagavan Rama, but you are serving Ravana. You are helping Ravana's plan become, you are helping in executing Ravana's plans. So you have to also do pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever is not according to values, those things we have to remove from ourselves. Pratikulasya varjanam. Now if you have let go of erroneous things, you are following the path of dharma. This question can come, who will take care of me? If there is some difficulty, and this world we are living in Kali Yuga, if there is some difficulty because I followed the right things, who will take care of me? He says the third step in Sharanagati is Rakshishyati iti Vishwasaha. That my Bhagavan to whom I am surrendering, he will come and protect as long as I am following the path of dharma. Not compromising on values, trying to live my life according to how Bhagavan wants me to live. Rakshishyati iti Vishwasaha. Now when he does this kind of Sharanagati, when he is having this faith, Bhagavan does come and protect. In that protection, now slowly he has started having exclusive faith. So many other sources might say, we will take care. But he says, my exclusive protection is coming from the Lord. So that becomes his fourth step of Sharanagati. Goptrutva Varnam Tatha. Goptrutva Varnam means, in protection of Bhagavan, he has firm conviction. In the previous step, he only had general faith that if I am doing the right thing, Bhagavan will protect. Now that faith has transformed into Vishwasa. Shraddha has transformed into Vishwasa, where he says, this protection coming from Bhagwan is my exclusive support. Goptrutva Varnam Tatha. And that support has become so strong that he doesn't hesitate to throw himself at Bhagwan's feet. So that throwing himself at Bhagwan's feet, as far as his ahankara is concerned, that is called as Atma Nikshepa. This is the fifth one. Atma Nikshepa, where he is completely falling at Bhagwan's feet. And the last one is Karpanya. Karpanya means not having the pride of sharanagati also. Not having the pride of sharanagati also. That completes the journey of sharanagati of a seeker. What are the 6 things again? Anukulyasya sankalpaha, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshishyati iti vishwasaha, goptrutva varnam tatha, atma nikshepa karpanye, shadvida sharanagatihi. These are the 6 limbs of surrendering to the Lord. That Bhagwan to whom he has surrendered, of that same Bhagwan he is doing Asambhuti Upasana and Sambhuti Upasana. That is a connection. To directly put our mind in Bhagwan without this kind of connection, bond with Bhagwan, is very difficult. So he does this sharanagati very carefully. On the strength of that, he is doing Upasana. Now let us come to the 14th mantra. Let us chant it. By the way, while chanting this 14th mantra, we can chant it as Sambhutim cha Vinasham cha. But in understanding it, we have to write a. Okay. But I hope, did you all get why we added that a? How does the previous mantra end? 13th mantra. Iti shushruma dhiranam yenastad vichachakshire. And next mantra starts Sambhutim cha Vinasham cha. In olden days, Vedas were not written like this. One mantra on top, mantra number, then second mantra. They were just written continuously. So, yena tad vichachakshire, and right after that, Sambhutim cha Vinasham cha, that mantra would start. Don't worry if you don't get this point. In Sandhi, there is one Sandhi called as Purva Rupa Sandhi. If A or O is followed by A or O is followed by then A becomes avagraha. A becomes avagraha. Avagraha means an S. But that avagraha you can sometimes skip. Not necessary that you have to write that avagraha every time. Avagraha just represents A. Means A is there to represent that avagraha is put. So here the last letter is A. Yenastad vichachakshire. And next mantra is actually starting with Asambhutim cha Vinasham cha. So because it is coming after A, that A got dropped. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says you have to add it back. It is there, very much there. Then only you can understand the meaning of this mantra. So Asambhutim cha Vinasham cha. Asambhutim cha Vinasham cha Yastad Vedo Ubhayagam Saha. Asambhuti Upasana and Sambhuti Upasana, the one who does both of them together. Vinashena Mrutyum Tirtva. So Vinasha here refers to Sambhuti Upasana. Vinashena, by doing Sambhuti Upasana, he crosses over Mrutyu, crosses over death, and Asambhutyam Amrutam Ashnute. Asambhutyam Amrutam Ashnute. So Tirtva and Asambhuti, they have come together. Which Sandhi is this? Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Tirtva A and A of Asambhuti, they got together. So generally you have to write one avagraha just to clarify that there is A over here. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, if you don't write it also, it's okay. We have to understand there is an a. This is the most complicated mantra, okay, of entire Ishavasya. If you got this, all other mantras are simple. Don't worry about Sanskrit rule. I'm just telling how it happens. All we have to do is add a before Asambhutim cha Vinasham cha, and second line Vinashena Mrutyum Tirtva Asambhutyam Amrutam Ashnute. In your book, I think it is Sambhutyam Amrutam Ashnute, right? So that a is there. Let us look at Bhashya. All points will become clear in and through Bhashya. Yatah evam atah samuccayah sambhuti asambhuti upasanayoho uktah yuktah eva ekapurusharthatvat cha iti aha sambhutim cha vinasham cha yah tat veda ubhayam sah vinashena vinasho dharmah yasya karyasya sah tena dharmina abhedena uchyate vinashah iti tena tad upasanena anaishwaryam adharma kamadi dosha jatam cha mrutyum tirtva hiranyagarbha upasanena hi animadi praptihi phalam. So yatah evam atah samuccayah sambhuti asambhuti upasanayoho yuktah. Says because both have independent result, it is very appropriate that we have to combine both these upasanas. Eka eva purushartatvat eva cheti aha. Same person should be doing both of it. It is the same person who is supposed to be doing asambhuti and sambhuti upasana. Sambhutim cha vinasham cha yastad vedo ubhayagam saha. This is from the mantra. Vinashena mrutyum tirtva is there, right? So why did Bhagwan use the word vinasha? Bhagwan Shankaracharya explains. Or why did Upanishad mantra use the word vinasha? Bhagwan Shankaracharya explains. Vinasho dharmaha yasya karyasya saha tena dharmina abhedena uchyate vinasha. Means destruction is the nature of that thing. That thing is called as destruction. Vinasha means that which will get destroyed. The dharma of that thing is to get destroyed. So whatever is manifest, one day that manifest thing will get destroyed. He says because it is that way. That thing is called as vinasha. It is just like sometimes if you have to turn the heater on, we say get me some heat. Or we say put some heat on. The dharma of that heater is heat. But you can refer to that thing through its dharma. In the same way, the dharma of sambhuti is vinasha. Dharma of anything which is manifested is it will get destroyed. So you can refer to that thing as vinasha in that way. Tena tad upasanena anaishwaryam adharma kamadi dosha jatam. What is mrutyu? Bhagwan gives 3 words here. If you are always feeling a sense of being small, if there is always anaishwarya in us, always we feel very isolated from world around, that is called as first sign of mrutyu, anaishwarya. Second is adharma. whenever this person is prompted to do something wrong, that is second sign of Mrutyu. And third one is whenever there is strong desire, which will prompt that person to commit some mistake. That is third sign of Mrutyu. Aneshwarya, Adharma, and Kamadi Dosha Jatam. The beauty of Upasana on Sambhuti, beauty of Upasana on looking up to this whole creation as Bhagavan, he says this person will be freed from all these three things. He will never have Anaishwarya in himself, will never walk on the path of Adharma, and will never have desires which will cause a lot of agitation. I had read one story about one king who wanted to appoint Rajguru. Rajguru means the royal teacher of the king. So he made one competition. He said, I will give land and I will give money. Whoever builds the biggest ashram, that person will become my Rajguru, my teacher. Now, what a nice proposition, you know. Money he is giving, land he is giving. All this person has to do is build that ashram, the biggest ashram. Several people signed up. And king said, I will come and do inspection in between and see who is doing what. One person's name was there, one Sadhuji, Sadhu Baba, his name was there on that list to become Rajguru. But he didn't see any ashram around him. Nicely, happily he was sitting there. King goes and asks him, where is your ashram? Have you built it? He says, Maharaj, the ashram is already built. The ashram is built? What is your, where is your ashram? I can't see anything. He chants that shloka which we chant while eating food. Bandhavaha Shiva Bhaktascha Swadesho Bhuvanatrayam. He says, my home is this entire universe. What I see as my ashram is this whole world. Why should I reduce the size of my ashram by building a wall? That is the point of Anaishwarya. That person in whom Anaishwarya is removed is very comfortable wherever he goes. Because he doesn't see that place as different from his Bhagavan. And what about people? Bandhavaha Shiva Bhaktascha. He says, my relatives are those, whoever is a devotee of the Lord. Or I can see as everybody as Bhagavan's devotee. This we should remember whenever we go to a new place, new job. Children, when they go to new university to study. The sign of Aneshwari is, we start feeling, why am I here? The phala of bhakti is that Aneshwari is removed. Wherever this person goes, he is happy. Now, if entire creation is enveloped by the Lord, adharma to happen is very difficult. Means at every point he is alert. One is Bhagavan is watching, and at the same time, nobody can escape the eyes of Bhagavan. Means karma, gati is very strong. And kamadi dosha jatam. Best example for this is the dialogue that happens between Bhagavan Rama and Kevat. Bhagavan says, take something, I will give you something, you have to take. And what is the answer of Kevat? He says, Aaj nath mein kahu na pava, mite dosha dukha darita dava. So Bhagavan, what is it that I have not gained today? If I am able to put my mind in you, there is nothing more that I am seeking. And whatever dosha, Mite dosha dukha daridadava. Because of desire, we are prompted to committing so many mistakes. All of those mistakes are as though wiped off just by your bhakti. Mite dosha dukha daridadava. Same things you will find in different compositions of different saints. If Miraji says, Payo ji maine Ram Ratana Dhana Payo, apply that to these three words. Anaishwarya, Adharma and Kamadi Dosha Jatam Mrutyum Tirtva. Means her Aishwarya comes from this fact that Bhagwan belongs to me. I belong to Bhagwan and Bhagwan belongs to me. With that, whatever smallness a person can have, all of that is removed. They might be living in a lot of austerity, but if they want, they can bring all prosperity. Later we will see when Bharatji goes to meet Bharadwajji, Bharadwajji brings entire Swarga down for Ayodhya Vasis. Whatever arrangements were to be done, everything he does, and he himself is living on roots and fruits. It is said we can understand the power of karma very easily. If we work hard, we will get a lot of results. But sometimes you don't appreciate the power of Upasana. If somebody can do Upasana on the Lord, that person can also get so many results. Mrutyum tirtva hiranya garbha upasanena hi animadi prapti. He gets this animadi prapti. Next part I'll just read directly. Tena anaishwaryadi mrutyum atitya asambhutya avyakruta upasanaya amrutam prakritile lakshanam ashnute. Having crossed over this Mrutyu. What is Mrutyu here? Three things. Anaishwarya, adharma, and mistakes which happen because of desire. Having crossed over all these three things through bhakti on the manifest form of the Lord, he also attains the result of Asambhuti Upasana, which is Prakriti Laya Lakshanam Ashnute. Sambhutim cha Vinasham cha iti atra. Bhagwan says, pay attention to grammar here. In that shloka, Sambhutim cha Vinasham cha iti atra avarna lopena nirdeshaha drashtavyaha. Because of avarna lopa, which has happened, we should understand it is asambhutim cha vinasham cha. Avarna lopena nirdeshaha drashtavyaha. Prakritilaya phala shruti anurodhat. Prakritilaya phala shruti is possible only with asambhuti. That is why we have to understand the beginning part of that mantra as asambhutim cha vinasham cha. The result of Prakritilaya cannot come with Sambhuti Upasana. That is why it has to be understood in this way. So with this we complete the Upasana part. As I mentioned in the beginning of the class, in Vedanta, Upasana will not be separately taught. I had this question for a long time. We keep saying we have to do Upasana, we have to do Upasana. Why isn't it taught separately? He said it will not be taught separately. Wherever it is taught, that will be the place where we have to get our understanding from. And it won't be enjoined also. They will just say, the one who does this, they will get these results. So it is up to the student who will take out that time, try to understand it and do it. So that portion we completed. Now comes a very, very sweet and beautiful set of mantras, which you must have seen in Upanishad Ganga also. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapetam mukham tattvam pushanna pavrunam satyadharmaya drishtaye. All the phalashruti and the mindset of a devotee, those are given in these mantras, which we will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.